Hello and welcome to the turbulent world with me, James M. Dorsey, as your host. The writing is on the wall as Gaza ceasefire talks flail, if not fail, for the umpteenth time. A series of vignettes tell the story of Israel's increasingly shrinking support base in the United States and Europe. Alarmingly for Israel, the vignettes reflect mounting criticism of the Jewish state in U.S. President Donald Trump's Make America Great Again and America First support base, as well as among European leaders. To be sure, Christian Zionists and pro-Israel evangelicals remain an important segment of Mr. Trump's base. Similarly, European leaders have yet to put their money where their mouth is. Even so, failing to do so is becoming increasingly difficult. That realization may be registering on Israeli radars. Not that it will change Israel's indefensible conduct of the Gaza war. Instead, Israel's response resembles Hans Brinker, the boy in Mary May Dodge's 19th century children's novel, who puts his finger in a Dutch dike to prevent a major breach. In a lengthy open letter on X, Israeli Minister of Diaspora Affairs and Combating Anti-Semitism, Amichai Chikli, a darling of the global far right, pleaded with traditionally pro-Israel conservative activist Charlie Kirk not to host anti-Israel America Firsters, such as prominent conservative commentator Tucker Carlson and conspiracy theorists and Holocaust deniers like Owen Candace and Daryl Cooper. Mr. Kirk, a supporter of Israel, is the founder of Turning Point USA, the United States' foremost conservative youth and student organization. We have a serious problem, a wave of anti-Semitism, the likes of which America hasn't seen since the 1930s, is gathering momentum. And so, I'm asking you, please stay true to your strong moral compass and speak out against anti-Semitism, whether it comes from the woke left or the woke right, Mr. Chikli said. To be sure, like in some left-wing quarters, some right-wing criticism of Israel is laced with anti-Semitic undertones. Even so, Mr. Chikli lacks the credibility to point that out. He has spent much of his time in office coddling up to far right-wing groups and figures with a history of anti-Semitism, rather than focusing on the rise of anti-Jewish sentiment. Mr. Chikli published his plea to Mr. Kirk after Mr. Carlson keynoted at this year's Turning Point Student Action Conference. Mr. Carlson called for stripping Americans serving in the Israeli military of their U.S. citizenship, criticized the Trump administration's focus on the deportation of pro-Palestinian activists, and suggested that sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein had links to Israel. It's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. No one is allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel, because we've somehow been cowed into thinking that that's naughty. There is nothing wrong with saying that. There is nothing hateful about saying that. There is nothing anti-Semitic about saying. There's nothing even anti-Israel about saying that, Mr. Carlson said. Mr. Trump faces a growing backlash from influential members of his support base after the Justice Department said it had no additional evidence to reveal in response to demands for full disclosure of the Epstein file. Many among Mr. Trump's supporters suspect a cover-up of those who were associated with the high-flying financier, including the president, and question whether his 2019 death in prison was a suicide. Mr. Chikli's letter also followed libertarian stand-up comedian David Smith's performance at the Turning Point Conference, in which he took pro-life anti-abortionists to task for supporting Israel's Gaza campaign that has killed and wounded tens of thousands of children and deprived them of food and necessary medical care. If you support what Israel is doing in Gaza right now, my advice to you guys is that you never have a leg to stand on claiming to be pro-life for the rest of your life, Mr. Smith told the audience. Replying to hecklers, Mr. Smith said, "Oh, so it's okay to support a policy that is killing babies. All of a sudden, killing babies is negotiable. You don't have the right to murder the baby while it's inside of you. Likewise, don't deny 1 ounce of grain for 3 months and then shoot at the poor people who are trying to get food." Mr. Smith was referring to Israel's month-long blocking of the entry of all aid into Gaza after it violated the ceasefire in March and restarted its assault on the Strip, and then allowed only limited amounts in with food distributed by the controversial Israel and US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Some 800 people have been killed at the foundation's few Gaza distribution points. Speaking on One America News, Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene demanded that the Israeli lobby, the American Israeli Political Action Committee, or AIPAC, and Christians United for Israel, an influential evangelical group, register as foreign agents. I'm unapologetic about it. I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't wish Israel or any other country harm. But I really think that we should start calling it bullying. It's not wrong to say no to Israel, Mrs. Taylor Greene said. In a similar vein, Israel's Manufacturing Association played into the hands of the country's critics with the release of a video asserting that Israeli products like juice, cheese, supplements, and shampoo allow for the production of missiles, tanks, and drones. Today, we already understand that Israeli output produces independence, security, and power, the video said. Already, major Western companies are in the firing line for cooperating with Israel on Gaza-related issues. This month, Boston Consulting Group squirmed when its involvement in Israeli plans to corral 600,000 Palestinians in a tent camp on the flattened ruins of the southern Gaza city of Rafah was leaked to the media. Earlier, Francesca Albanese, the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Israeli-occupied lands, documented how companies profited from the Israeli occupation of the West Bank and the Gaza war. The corporate disclosures came amid increasingly tough criticism of Israel by European leaders, including European Union officials and the British, German, and French heads of government. So far, Mr. Trump has ignored the critical voices among his supporters, insisting that he coined the America First slogan and will define what it means. The question is not if, but when Mr. Trump will feel that the cost of ignoring critical voices will outweigh the benefits of having it his way. Thank you for joining me today. The Turbulent World with James M. Dorsey seeks to empower readers, listeners, and viewers to form informed opinions of their own. Equitable, fair, and honest analysis that lets the chips fall where they may has seldom been more important in a world racked by brutal wars, unimaginable humanitarian crises, and increasing authoritarianism. If you share this vision, please consider becoming a paid subscriber by going to jamesmdorsey.substack.com. The Turbulent World can only sustain and expand its independent coverage, free of advertisements and clickbait, with the support of its readers. Thank you for your support and loyalty. Take care and best wishes.